The zoom tool is used for zooming in and out of your photos in Photoshop. So the zoom tool is incredibly simple. Basically, it just allows you to zoom in and out of your photographs. Now, most of the time, I'm not actually clicking on the zoom tool itself. There are a lot of other ways you can zoom in Photoshop. So in this video, we're going to show you everything you need to know about the zoom tool, and I'm going to show you other ways to zoom in and out in Photoshop. So here's your image for today, and you can download this in your course materials. Now, we're going to start off by clicking on our zoom tool. You can click here, it's the magnifying glass, or you can hit Z on your keyboard. Now, up at the top, we have a few different options for our zoom tool. First, we have the option to zoom in, which is the plus, or zoom out, which is the minus. So if I click a couple times with the plus, there we go, and I click on the minus, we're going to zoom out. Now, in this case, you can hold Alt or Option to switch the current tool that you're on. So if I'm on the zoom out tool, simply hold Alt or Option, and I'm going to be zooming in, let go of Alt or Option, and we're going to be zooming out. Okay, now next we have resize windows to fit. So let's change our screen view. There we go. We're hit F to hit screen view, and here we go. Now we're going to zoom out, and you can see that my window is resizing as I zoom out. Hold Alt or Option, it's going to zoom back in. Let's go ahead and uncheck that, and there we go. My window is staying the same size, I'm just zooming inside of my window. So totally a preference thing. Normally I have this checked, resize windows to fit, and our whole window grows as our image grows as well. Now, you do have an option to zoom all windows as well. So I'm going to right click up here, go to duplicate, and there we go. So we're going to duplicate this to a new window, and you can zoom. If you click here, it's going to zoom all your windows at the same time. So if you have a bunch of different documents open, you can zoom them all at the same time. Now, I don't really find this to be incredibly helpful, so I usually have this clicked off. Okay, let's go ahead and close that guy out. All right, and zoom back in. I'm going to hit F for full screen. So our next option here is our scrubby zoom. Now, this basically has, like, if you click and drag, you can zoom in or out with the zoom tool. Okay, so that's what scrubby zoom in is. And it doesn't matter if you're on the plus or minus here. You can simply click and drag to the right is going to be zooming in, and drag to the left is going to be zooming out. And I just chose an image that has a ton of little details here so we can zoom in and see all those really fun details. Okay, so that's scrubby zoom, and generally I have that turned on because I think it's actually pretty nice. Now, with scrubby zoom turned off, you can click and drag a section of your image, let go, and it's going to zoom into just that section, which is really fun. You can also zoom by amount, so you can click on 100%. I can click fit screen as well as full screen. Okay, so that's basically the options within the zoom tool itself. Now let's go over a couple keyboard shortcuts that you can use and other ways to zoom in and out of your photos. So the first keyboard shortcut for zooming is simply holding Control or Command and hitting plus or minus. This will allow you to zoom in and out of your photo. So minus will zoom out and plus will zoom in. Now, it doesn't matter what tool you're on here. So for instance, if I click on my brush tool, you can see I'm on my brush tool here. Simply hold Control or Command and you can zoom in and out of your photos. Now, you can do the same thing here with your Navigator window. So I'm going to go to Window and make sure Navigator is checked so you can see your Navigator window. Now in this case, my Navigator window is over here, and I can click on the little minus, or it's basically like small mountains and large mountains. So we're going to click on the small mountains here on the left, okay? That's going to zoom out, and we're going to click on the larger mountains on the right, and that's going to zoom into our photo. Now you can also type in your percentage right here. If you just type in 50 and hit enter, you're going to be at 50% zoom. Okay, so a couple of easy ways. Now comes time for my favorite way of zooming in and out of photos. So here's my favorite way of zooming. The first thing we need to do is click on the zoom tool and make sure that scrubby zoom is turned on. I know that's a really funny word, but just make sure that is turned on. Okay, now we can be on any other tool and it really doesn't matter. So here's our keyboard shortcut. You're going to hold down spacebar first and then Control or Command, whether you're on a Mac or PC. So spacebar first, then Control or Command, and you can see my icon turns into a magnifying glass. So you can do this keyboard shortcut no matter what tool you're on. Here, all you have to do is simply click on the area that you want to zoom into and drag to the right to zoom in, okay, and drag to the left to zoom out. So this is scrubby zoom, but it's available with any tool. Okay, so the keyboard shortcut again is spacebar and then Control or Command, and you can zoom out to see your image as a whole, and it's like, okay, I need to work on this little area of a photo, zoom right in, click, drag to the left, and zoom right out. So I find it's a very quick way to work, and it allows me to basically access different parts of my photo incredibly quickly and incredibly easily. Okay, now to finish it off, let's say we're all the way zoomed in and we just want to see our image fill the screen. Hold Control or Command and hit 0, and that's going to zoom all the way to fit screen. Okay, well, that's basically our keyboard shortcuts using the Zoom tool. So you can see the Zoom tool is incredibly easy to use, and most of the time you don't even have to click on the Zoom tool itself. Simply use the keyboard shortcuts we just talked about and you can zoom in and out of your photos. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you in the next video.